Welcome back to Smart News. I'm Scott Parks, Chief International Representative at SMART. Our first story today, after decades of leadership, from Local 19 in Philadelphia to our international union, SMART General President Joseph Sellers has announced his retirement effective at the end of May 2023. General President Sellers leaves behind a legacy of stability and progress, strongly positioning our union for years to come. He led the union initiative on key issues including pension, healthcare, and apprenticeships. He implemented enhancements to SMART's technological infrastructure and training. He also pioneered campaigns to increase recruitment, retention, and diversity within our union. As a testament to his leadership and to that of General President Joseph Nigro and Mike Sullivan before him, the Sheet Metal Workers National Pension Fund was officially certified in the Green Zone in 2022 after decades of recovery. General President Sellers' focus on member engagement launched the SMART Army and related projects, which prioritize engaging members and ensuring their feedback is included at all levels of union decision-making. This contributed to recent successes for transportation and sheet metal workers whose voices have been heard and amplified in Washington, D.C. and Ottawa, and in state and provincial capitals across North America. We recently spoke with General President Sellers about his pending retirement and tenure at SMART.
Everything that my family has is because of SMART. Everything, my father was a sheet metal worker. I was born into a union sheet metal worker family. My health care was provided by my local's benefit funds. And my kids understands that, my wife understands that, the rest of my family understands that everything that we have is because of being union and because of being a SMART member. I am going to miss the people for sure. I love what I do. I do a lot of traveling. I like to get out and I like to talk to workers, leaders. As a matter of fact, when I go to a location, I try to set up tours of whether it's a shop or a job, or whether it's a legislative action, or maybe it's even a handbill or a picket line. I'm really proud of what we've done in the recruitment and retention piece of what we do. We need to make sure that we mobilize. We need to make sure that we get the workers there with the skill set. We go out and we recruit in every community. We go out and make sure that we're recruiting women. We go out and make sure that we're recruiting persons of color and getting into that community and making sure they have real job opportunities within the union sheet metal industry. The other thing that I believe we've really changed is the way we communicate with our members. Our members, our families, our allies, doing these videos. And I remember doing my first video. It was December of 2016. It's a moment and it's a mark in my career about trying to use different media. That now has turned into podcasts, and that now has turned into Smart News, which I think is really good. We're not stopping there, but we're going to continue to use the multimedia sectors to communicate with our members, to understand what the issues are, make sure that they know what's going on in their union, make sure that they understand that this is their union, and it really depends on an active membership. Quite frankly, the future looks great. It's our moment. It is really our moment. But we have a lot of work to do. We have to meet that moment. There is approximately $600 billion worth of work in the pipeline. 600 billion with a B of work in the pipeline. That type of work needs a major workforce. We need to be able to grow our union to meet that workforce. This is generational growth for us. This is generational where you could be on this job or maybe even move to an area that has one of these mega projects on it. And making sure that you have a sustaining life, career for yourself, your family, college education, those things that are important to our members. We are SMART, right? Sheet metal, air, rail, and transportation workers. And we're going to do the things together that are important to our union, no matter what sector you come from, transportation, sheet metal, manufacturing, any one of those sectors, that we're gonna be there for each other.
General President Sellers will be replaced by Michael Coleman, currently the assistant to the General President. He was elected by the SMART General Executive Council in January 2023. A SMART member since 1985, incoming General President Coleman has served at every level of our union. This includes President and Business Manager of Local 33 in Northern Ohio, 9th General Vice President, SMART Director of Business and Management Relations, and his current post as Assistant to the General President. He will officially assume the position of SMART General President on June 1, 2023.
I really do believe that General President Sellers has set the bar that all future General Presidents will be measured by. He thinks every single moment of every single day about how he can improve SMART members' lives. General President Sellers has really prepared us for this moment that we're about to embark on, with all these big projects and all these opportunities. I'm looking forward to that challenge, to seeing through what his vision was and the opportunities, making sure that we're still prepared and taking advantage of the opportunities that lie ahead of us. So if I could put it into words, I would say now is our time. Quite honestly, these opportunities are once in a generation, and it really is going to be a big challenge. I'm very excited and very thankful to General President Sellers for positioning us as he did. I'm very dedicated to this organization. I'm driven because I think I owe everything I have to this organization. So I think that's the most important thing I want the membership to know. The initiatives that the General President has brought forward, much like the diversity, equity, inclusion, recruitment, and retention, are very important to me as well. He has been an industry leader in that regard, and I am looking forward to, again, continuing the great things that he has started here. I also want the members to know that this union is built by them, and it is about our members, and every day will continue to be about our members. I'm looking forward to getting out and meeting our members in person. I'm looking forward to serving our membership, and I'm looking forward to hearing the members' stories. We all have our stories. I have my own story, and I really look forward to hearing from our members. It's what this union is about. It's about our members and their families.
The Norfolk Southern disaster in East Palestine, Ohio, showed the world what SMART had been saying for years. The profit-driven shortcut of precision scheduled railroading gamble with public and worker safety. While carriers say safety is their highest priority, the evidence proves otherwise. Since East Palestine, there have been multiple derailments on Norfolk Southern and other carriers, drawing more scrutiny in Congress and the media. SMART, including TD alternate National Legislative Director Jared Cassidy, continues to speak out about rail safety. Please welcome Brother Cassidy. Brother Cassidy, East Palestine has opened the eyes of many to the issues with rail and rail safety. Can you please tell me what the Rail Safety Act of 2023 entails?
Sure. So the Rail Safety Act of 2023 is a bipartisan bill currently supported by Republicans and Democratic senators in the U.S. Senate, obviously. And it speaks to the need for rail safety improvements in this nation and in this industry. Unfortunately, precision scheduled railroading has taken a toll, and the railroads no longer can hide behind what they've done to railroading, and the dangers are out there for all. They're visible for all, and East Palestine is proof of that. And so this piece of legislation speaks to stuff that we need desperately bad to improve rail safety, like crew size issues, train length issues, train makeup issues, defect detector issues. It puts in place legislation that we need to start seeing the changes to put an end to PSR, but also to reverse the trajectory that's currently ongoing in a dangerous position right now with railroading.
Jared, how can SMART members get the word out?
The best way to do that right now is use our Action Center on our website. You go on there and you can write your representatives and let them know what your concerns are. We will be putting together some pre-drafted text for the members to do that'll make it much easier. We also encourage them to invite their friends and family to spread the word as well. We need everybody on board here. It's going to take actual peer pressure and constituent pressure on our elected representatives to get this stuff moving and get things done.
What else are the members of TD doing nationwide, and how can they be supported?
Sure. So what we're currently doing right now in the states, our state legislative boards and the directors are actively pursuing legislation in their states that are on the same level or the same vein of what we're doing federally. And so our members need to reach out and contact their state directors, see what they can do to help, be present in the Capitol when they're actually having the hearings, and so they can see the support and feel the need, the desperate need that we have from our workforce to keep each other safe. And then we can also talk about it. I mean, we cannot spread the word too much at this point. We've got to let everyone know just how bad railroading has really become under PSR and let folks know that there is a path forward, but it's through regulation and legislation.
Jared, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
To support the national and state rail safety efforts, please text Rail Safety to 67336. March 6th to 11th was Women in Construction Week, our annual celebration of the smart sisters who strengthen our industry and our union. We highlighted the achievements of women in our trade, shared member stories, showcased the life-changing careers available to women across our two nations, and ended the week with a virtual happy hour. Let's hear more from members of the Smart Women's Committee.
I'm Vanessa Carmen from Local 66 in Washington. Women in Construction Week is a great opportunity to get more women members connected each year and more involved with their union. Smart Women sponsored the Women in Construction Week photo contest, and we got our smart kids to participate in the kids' art raffle. We ended the week with the happy hour event, which is a fun time. It was great to see new sisters and allies attend and show their support for Women in Construction Week.
It highlights all the other women who have blazed the trail for us in the trades. Growing up in the trades, when I was a baby apprentice, I didn't have other women that I worked around, so I didn't really get to connect with any of them, learn from them, be mentored by any of them, understand any of the struggles that they were also dealing with. And so I think it's really neat that we all get to come together and be celebrated on that week and highlighted and see that we're not alone, knowing that there are other women in our trade kicking butt and taking names as well. That's probably the biggest part for me, is knowing that, again, I'm not alone, not just in the trades in general, but in sheet metal.
It's really nice to have a week that's highlighted and spotlighting women in the trades. Sometimes people don't really understand some of the struggles and the barriers that we go through as being women in the trades. So to be able to have a whole week highlighted is definitely liberating for me. I did have an opportunity to participate in Women in Construction Week. IBEW actually hosted a photo shoot over at the Ironworkers local, and it was a great experience. All of the women in the trades came out, and we were all able to show up and rep our locals and support each other. I want to continue to move mountains and to continue to just keep rising and to continue to bring people with me.
New megaprojects continue to create thousands of jobs for smart sheet metal workers across the United States and Canada. Two of the top projects are in Arizona. In Chandler, Intel is breaking ground on a new microchip plant, which is expected to employ over 300 sheet metal workers at its peak and continue for 2 to 3 years. And in Phoenix, the world's largest manufacturer of advanced microchips is building its first major U.S. production site. The company, TSMC, has more than tripled its initial planned investment in Phoenix. The project currently employs nearly 400 sheet metal workers and is expected to continue for 3 to 5 years.
Everything's going to be super clean. There's a lot of filtration that goes into it. There's a lot of, scrubber work, exhaust. So yeah, they're fairly labor intensive for sheet metal workers. And most of the duct that they're using anymore is rather large, so it ends up using more people than what we used to use. We've been able to increase our membership. Probably in 2017 to 18, we had 500 members, and we currently have about 850. So it's created a lot of organizing opportunities for us. All of our funds are super healthy, health and welfare pension funds down to, general fund activity at the hall. Basically just, there's a lot of hours being worked. It's been good for the economy. People are working. They've got disposable income, so they're doing more things with their families. So yeah, it's helped out the membership a lot. Since the CHIPS Act was enacted, we're looking at the possibility of having our first large scale project labor agreement being signed out at the TSMC project, which is something that the Arizona State Building Trades has never had really any success. Even though these weren't planned when these acts were enacted, these acts are going to help. I think they're going to pay dividends here in the very near future.
For members willing to travel, visit the SMART Sheet Metal Job Bank for more information. The SMART Member Assistance Program offers mental health awareness and action training. This helps SMART mentors provide support for members struggling with substance abuse or mental health issues. The trainings are conducted by Chris Carlo, SMART MAP Program Coordinator. He is working to build a compassionate, peer-based support system for members and their families. We spoke to Chris to learn more about SMART's efforts to help improve mental health resources for all members.
I've been working with the SMART MAP program for probably about 10 years or so. It's important to me because I'm a guy that's in recovery from drugs and alcohol, and I see the importance of talking about some of these issues because people don't like to talk about mental health. I think one of the things that's really important for all of us in the construction industry to recognize is that our industry has the highest rate of suicide of all industries. A construction worker in this sense is more vulnerable to suicide than they are to the dangers of an actual construction site. So when we saw that, we realized we needed to talk about this. When we take a look at the problem statement in mental health, we have to start with suicide rate and doing what we can to increase the dialogue, reduce the stigma, and get people to the resources that are going to help them. We've been able to pivot over the last few years to peer training, which is getting to our rank and file, people that are on the job site in the shop, and really empowering them to go out there and be peer advocates for their members, getting people to be comfortable having uncomfortable conversations. These trainings, they start with construction workers that are, they're rough and tumble. They're, push some of those emotions down. Let's rub some dirt on it, pull yourself up. And at the end of these trainings, we have members saying that, if you guys are in therapy, then I'm going to start doing therapy too. Or I'm going to start doing yoga. I'm going to start doing meditation and starting to work on some self-care stuff. And it's really a transformation that is quite fascinating. In order to be able to help other people, you have to make sure that you're good. In other words, like a lifeguard, the lifeguard analogy, if you're going to go out there and try and save somebody, you got to be strong enough to swim for two. 2023, we're going to be spending a lot of time doing peer-based trainings. If you're interested in that, we'd love you to reach out to your business manager, and they in turn can contact SMOHIT. And from there, we'll be into your local unions doing peer trainings, hopefully this year.
This important mental health work is being recognized. SMART and SMOHIT received the Union Award for Mental Health Visionary at the inaugural Construction Working Minds Summit in 2022. This recognized SMART's commitment to addressing and improving mental health in the construction industry and beyond. In 2022, Eli Bacchus of Local 33 won the Mental Health Champion Award, and in 2023, Craig Holzum of Local 18 won the same award. The future looks bright for SMART. Megaprojects are creating unprecedented work opportunities for sheet metal workers, and the horrific disaster in East Palestine has opened the window to change rail safety laws to better protect workers and communities. We need to seize these moments, whether we're bringing in new members or making our voices heard in government. And we can do that by standing together, shoulder to shoulder, across our two nations. Thank you. Solidarity forever.